welcome to the Trinity podcast. Joanna Wright here, real estate wealth maven, and Becky Eastup Noble, the credit coach queen. We are helping Americans understand and master real estate investing, business and personal credit, and of course, the money matrix, how each one affects you and how to leverage your Trinity wealth to take control of your own economic independence. Today, we're going to be talking about credit and why it matters, right? Your personal credit and why it matters. Becky is the queen of all of this, and she's going to bring a few things to the table that are brand new to the system that nobody really understands and knows about unless, well, you're a master of credit repair like Becky is. So, Becky, why don't you just go ahead and chime in for us? What's going on in the personal credit world?
Sure. Thank you so much, Joanna. And I am super excited to be here today and go over this. I was perusing through a few things, and actually my husband, Rob Noble, sent me an article that went over how they were going to change medical bills. And so this is like breaking news, crazy stuff. And so I got to admit, though, I kind of fluffed over it a little bit, and then didn't read it to the fullest extent. And then I started hearing a little bit of buzz in a few different places, and then I went back and paid attention. But the reason that I didn't pay attention at first about medical bills is because I've heard for years all this stuff about medical bills, about how they don't count against your credit report, which is not true. I heard that once you pay them off, they get deleted. That's not true. There was so many different things out there that weren't true, because I've watched all these credit reports and it affect people's credit scores for the last 10 years. And so, but the more buzz I started to hear about it, I'm like, oh, my husband's a genius. And he did know what he was sending me. And what it said is that starting in July of this year, anything that's a paid medical collection on the credit report is going to be deleted from the credit report, which I was like, that's awesome. What is that going to do? So then I have to stop and think through their process. Not only that,
It's a good thing, right? It's a good thing that they're removing it, right? Isn't everyone happy?
I mean, for sure, everyone should be happy about that because they paid the collection. They think a lot of people do believe that if they have a collection, they pay a collection, it goes away. Like, I paid that, it's gone. No, I have a collection, I paid a collection, now it shows up as a paid collection on your credit report. And so people's scores still are low because a paid collection is still considered equally negative to a collection, sometimes more so if you have something that's old, like an old collection, and you pay it off. Now it's a new paid collection. It's a new negative thing on your credit and actually lowers your credit scores. And most people feel very frustrated by that because they're like, hey, I took care of this, but now I didn't get a higher score. My score went down because of it. And then they're left confused. So now we get to the subject of like paid collection, medical bill. Now it will be deleted. Now your scores will go back up. And so what do you think about that, Joanna?
So I think it's cool that they're making a move to remove stuff from your credit report, because we all try our darndest, don't we, to have a great credit report. So what's the good, the bad, and the ugly about this is I want to understand, we're not here really trying to like tell you how to do credit repair per se. We're here to tell you where the wealth strategy part of it is, like what's truly behind the scenes of what's going on, right? So why do you think, Becky, that they're removing those credit the medical collections?
I don't know if you guys know this or not. It might be a really big secret, but we just went through a pandemic. I don't know if you guys recognize that or not, but we
Sounds
did.
familiar.
Yeah. So if I was, say, somebody that had a crisis, and I was like, okay, how do I make more money? How do I fix all this extra money that I spent? Oh, I went over budget. Yes, I got to print a bunch of free money. Okay. But now how do I, on the other side, make sure that I don't go under. And so the way that it's structured to do that is to, well, I guess I just need to go loan more money because I make interest on the money that I'm lending. And so how do I lend more money?
And let's just backtrack for 2 seconds here.
Yeah.
Who is how do I?
Who is how do I? Well,
Yeah,
isn't that the they? I'm just kidding.
the government, right? Like, how do we make
Absolutely.
more money?
Yes.
Right. That's who she's really referring to, in case you guys weren't catching the
Sorry.
loop there. How do I make more money if I've screwed up our whole economy? And I printed money. Like, that's really the statement that she's trying to make here, in a generic form, so that you guys are tracking. Like, that's how she's saying it as a business person, right? Which obviously the government has no clue how to be a business person, but a business person would say, how do I fix what I overspent? How would I, and the government should be asking these questions. How do I fix our economy? No, they just go print more money. So I just want to make sure you all know whom she's referring to, and why they're doing this.
So yes, absolutely. Thank you for clarifying that, because sometimes I just speak at this level.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
want to bring it to a term anybody can
Layman's
understand.
terms.
So yes,
Layman's
so
terms,
for
yes.
sure. And so the point is that if I remove paid, if I get with the credit bureaus and I say, okay, we're going to remove all these paid collections from people's credit reports. Well, what happens when the paid collections get removed? Well, your credit scores go up. And now that your credit scores go up, hey, that helps me, that helps you. That's awesome. Yay, the heroes, right?
Yeah.
Or your scores go up. Now they can lend you money to buy houses. Yay, you get a house now. However, you're in a 30-year mortgage that's a liability, not an asset, which we talk about liabilities versus assets. So if you haven't checked out some of our other Trinity podcasts, totally check those out, because we talk about wealth building principles. That's the whole point of doing this, right? So I just want you to realize that, yes, your scores are going to go up. Yes, the paid collections are going to get deleted. Hoorah. So you will get better interest rates as long as you're smart about what you're doing with the money that you're borrowing. Then you could build an asset for you, and kind of turn around what the government's doing right now. Good. Kudos to us. Another tool in our pocket that we get to use in a smarter way. But let's all get smarter about money together so that we use compound interest to work in our benefit instead of another liability, another 30-year slave mortgage, right? Because that's what it is. You're trading 30 years of your life to pay off a liability, the home that you live in that's not making you any money. So let's just come up with better principles so that we learn how to pay those houses off within 2 to 5 years. And then can you imagine what it'd be like to live in a house and not have to pay rent or a mortgage? Like, all you had was your utilities and that was it. Like, how much more money could you stack in your favor if you just got better at understanding the game that's being played on you, and you start playing that game in reverse?
Yeah. That's gold right there, guys. That's gold.
Mhm.
Play that game in reverse. How do the wealthy think, right? They think about playing that in reverse. So a lot of people will say, and I'm going to go off on a slight sidebar here, but they say the rich don't pay taxes, right? They're like, oh, we should tax the rich. This is the poor mentality speaking that, because the rich basically write the tax law, right? They vote for that, and they work the loopholes that are in tax law. Now, if you read tax law, you can do the same thing. They're not special. They just read tax law or had someone read it for them and show them the way, the right CPA, right? Oh, the right CPA will show you the way. I like that, right?
That's awesome.
Anyways, I mean, they're no different than you. And the reason they're not paying as many taxes is because they have other things that soak up like a sponge the tax that they're supposed to be paying, right? And it's all written in tax law. They're not avoiding taxes. They're just making it in a different way, right? They're making it happen in a different way that is in their favor, because basically tax law is written for the rich. It's not written for the poor. The poor and middle class get sucked into paying most of the taxes because they don't understand tax law. And it's not that the rich are a-holes, and they're better than us, right? It's just because they know how to work the system. And working the system is having assets, it's having businesses, it's structuring yourself, it's really going through the tax structure. And that's it. Like anyone can do this, anyone. The sad part is, and this is the end of my sidebar here, this sad part is most of us won't. Mm-hmm. Most of us won't. And this is why we've started this podcast, is so that we can reach those that want to, are starting to, and want to grow to, right? And that's having real estate assets, that's having business credit, that's having masters in the money matrix. And if you're not tracking those things, I mean, you'll just stay broke and all you care about is your medical collection anyway. So
sorry, that's not funny. But it is in a way, because it's like, hey, we've got this roadmap, just follow it. Like we're guess what? We spent years perfecting what it is that we show people how to do. And we're willing and want to pour our hearts into somebody else and show them what it is that we're trying to like be the change in the world, so that you don't have to figure all this stuff out. Like we're going to get you from point A to B without having to go from point A to Z. And so it's a lot less painful. And so we've set it all up to make it super easy. We have your roadmap for you. All you got to do is follow it. So that's awesome. And so that's why I'm so excited to work with Joanna. Really, it's been a joy the last couple of years, just getting to know her as a person. She's amazing. And so every time that I go into any type of limiting belief, first off, sometimes I even catch myself doing it first. And second, Joanna catches me doing it. And so even down to our coaching program, where we have a weekly business mastermind meeting that we have every single week. We're getting to level up who we are by inviting other business owners that are on our same level or want to be at that level to come with us and think through some of the stuff that they do too. And so it's been super awesome to be on this roller coaster ride, right? Like you did.
Yeah.
Get rid of some of our silly string if you haven't seen our first Trinity podcast, and just keep going, especially in the crazy pandemic. It's been nice to feel uplifted.
Yeah, absolutely. And to the credit repair side of it, like credit's important in some ways, and then other ways it's not. We don't even care. Like as a real estate investor, I don't even care. But there's other things I want to do and can leverage that. So that's great, right? To have it intact. Is it my end all be all? Do I say I can't do A, B, C, D, whatever because of my credit? No, I just find another way to do it. And that's kind of where we're trying to steer you in. Like, so the wealthy make sure that all their buttons are in a row, right? Most people don't even know that there's a row to have buttons in, right? To button down, right? They just go, oh, I just have this one button and that's all I know how to use. And that metaphor is kind of weird, but what I'm trying to get at is there's other ways. There's other ways. And when the government says something like, and this is why we're like, pay attention, folks, because when the government says, we're going to alter your credit report for you so you can get further in debt, it's warning, warning, Will Robinson, warning, like those sirens should be going off in you. Just because that's not a wealth strategy, that's a debt strategy. You want the wealth strategy that we're trying to pour into your hearts right now. So if you need more information on that, just go ahead and type in the comments, reach out to us. Let us know you got value, do hashtag value, let us know. Because we want to bring this to the table. And of course, If you want us to elaborate on something, type in there what you want us to elaborate on, questions that you have. This is what the podcast is all about. It's about you guys, bringing you guys on our journey together.
Mm-hmm. But wait, there is more. I just want to
Yeah.
add this one little bonus. Starting in 2023, they're actually going to delete paid collection, or not paid collections, collections. Any medical bill that's under $500, they're actually going to delete from the credit report too. And so again, same thought process. I just want you to know that that's coming too down the pike. I had this little message that showed up on Instagram when I posted this, and they said, well, then who's going to pay their medical collections? I thought, the people that are that aren't paying their medical collections, that are under $500, aren't paying their medical, they wouldn't pay it anyway. Like, they probably won't pay it anyway. So it coming off of the credit report increases that person's credit report that is maybe in the middle to lower class. And so whenever that gets deleted from the credit report, again, their scores go up. It's just making the same point that we just made. I'm just making it a different way to show you like how desperate they are for us to go get. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It is a good thing. And you can find good deals, but be smart about what you're doing. Don't overbuy what you can afford just because the mortgage company says this is how much house you qualify for. You know what I mean? Make sure that you have your financial matrix set up to be successful so that if something happens, you have some reserves emergency money. Like, make your plan to build your other assets and wealth while you use what it is they're trying to help you with. So just go level up your smartness here. As one of my mentors says, from here down, we're all W-2 employees. From here up, we have a $1 billion business. So just get smarter.
Absolutely. Just get
smarter with us.
Absolutely. And we have a lot that we're sharing with you here on the Trinity podcast. Make sure you subscribe and keep in touch with us on our weekly podcast to hear more.